Lueroi's Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver Walkthrough, Part 47. Alright, here we are, fourth member of the Elite Four. This is Karen, the Dark-type user. I am Karen of the Elite Four. Your Lueroi? How amusing. Alright, my name is amusing. What, my name just cracks you up or something like that? Anyway, she's gonna challenge us, and here we go! Fourth battle of the Elite Four, so you know it's gonna be tough. Alright, Karen is a Dark-type user, although she actually only has 3 Dark-type Pokemon out of 5. But she starts with an Umbreon. Umbreon is weak to Bug and Fighting types. It knows the moves Confuse Ray, Double Team, Feint Attack, and Payback. Umbreon is known for its defenses. It has awesome defenses, but kind of bad attack. Basically what it likes to do is confuse you and use Double Team a lot. It's pretty much an annoyance Pokemon, so bring your X accuracies if you have to. Yeah, Umbreon's super hard to put damage on. I don't think a close combat will kill it completely, so I'm going to start with a Brick Break and see how that does. Now, luckily for all of us, it only knows 2 kind of weak Dark-type moves, so it's not that hard to match up against defensively. Like, any Fighting type will just dominate this thing because Dark-type moves aren't very effective. Just keep that in mind, it can only hit you with Dark-type moves. And yeah, close combat will easily finish it off here, so I'm not really going to have any problems with Umbreon, just because I have a Fighting type. If you don't have a Fighting type, or even a Bug type, this thing will be pretty tough to knock out. You just got to hit it with your most powerful attacks. Just remember, Umbreon's not that threatening offensively. Really, it just likes to bug you with Double Team and Confuse Ray. If you can get past that with X accuracies, you should be fine. Next up is Murkrow. Murkrow is a Dark and Flying type, so it is weak to Electric, Ice, and Rock. Murkrow is kind of the opposite of Umbreon. Instead of good defenses, it has good attack, but terrible defenses. Murkrow knows the moves Sucker Punch, Feint Attack, Pluck, and Whirlwind. Now luckily it doesn't know any ultra mega powerful moves. Sucker Punch, basically anytime you attack it with an attacking move, Murkrow will use Sucker Punch and it automatically goes first. Kind of annoying. So anytime you actually attack it, it's going to do that with Sucker Punch. My Thunder Miss, kind of annoying, but as long as you can hit this thing with a super effective move, or really any just powerful move for that matter, I can guarantee you're going to knock it out, because Murkrow's defenses are just awful. Like, this thing is not built to take hits at all, it's only built to deal out damage. It's just easily going down, so it's not really a problem. Unfortunately, it kind of put a lot of damage on Aqua Volt. But I probably won't need Aqua Volt after this anyways. So next up is her Vileplume. Kind of a change of pace. It's a Grass and Poison type. I have no idea why she has a Vileplume on her team, but she does, and it's weak to Fire, Ice, Flying, and Psychic types. So obviously I'm going to go over to Batman, who can probably knock it out. Now, Karen's Vileplume knows the moves Stun Spore, Petal Dance, Acid, and Moonlight. Stun Spore will paralyze you. That's what it mainly likes to do, so have your full heals ready. Acid's a really crappy move, and Petal Dance is pretty strong, so really the only major threat here is Petal Dance. So if you have a Fire or Flying type, you are easily going to just dominate this thing. Any Pokemon that can take Petal Dances is just going to have no problem taking out Vileplume. Stat-wise, Vileplume's a pretty good balanced Pokemon overall, so it's not that easy to kill in one hit, but yeah, we can still easily deal with it just because it doesn't really know that many great offensive moves. Now, I'm going to quickly use a full heal here. I just don't like dealing with this paralysis at all. My main advice is with Petal Dance. Petal Dance, after 2 to 3 turns of consecutive use, will confuse the Vileplume. So if you have to, just keep using Hyper Potions and restoring the health it uses on Petal Dance each turn. Then eventually it'll get confused and it'll just make your life a lot easier, basically. But yeah, Crobat resists Petal Dance. It's only 1/4 damage, so I have no problems at all. Yeah, Vileplume's a really easy Pokemon to counter, actually. I'll never understand why she has a Vileplume on her team. Like, seriously, I mean, it's a Grass and Poison type on a Dark-type team. Like, where do you come up with this stuff, Karen? I always thought she should have had a Tyranitar. I mean, I know it doesn't evolve into Tyranitar till like level 55, but Nintendo's been known to just like completely disregard evolution levels in the past. But luckily we don't have to deal with Tyranitar. Instead we have to deal with this thing. It's a Houndoom. It's our strongest Pokemon, a Fire and Dark type. Its weaknesses are Ground, Fighting, Rock, and Water. Houndoom is easily your best Pokemon. It knows the moves Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Crunch, and Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot boosts up its special attack 2 levels, meaning Flamethrower and Dark Pulse get a whole lot more powerful. Houndoom's downside is that it has really crappy defense. Any physical attack is going to do a lot of damage on this thing, especially like fighting types and ground types, or something like Waterfall, just does a ton of damage. So I'm going to go with Golem and try an Earthquake here. I'm pretty confident that I can live... Oh, it's going to use Nasty Plot right off the bat. Alright, so that's pretty much just going to make it super ultra powerful. And on top of that, Houndoom's a pretty fast Pokemon, so it's just kind of going to be a dangerous dog on the loose once it uses Nasty Plot. So hopefully you can knock it out quickly. Earthquake's going to do... Oh, it's almost going to knock it out. Alright, so the Berry's going to The Berry's going to kick in. Sorry, I can't talk today. So it looks like Golem's going to probably go down. From a Dark Pulse, but that's okay because I can always go to Crobat and finish it off. You might be wondering why I didn't just go to Heracross and go for a close combat, because that would have easily killed it. My thinking is just that a Flamethrower would knock me out, and I'm slower than it, that's why. Because you gotta remember, this thing is pretty dang fast, but not faster than Crobat. That's the great thing about Crobat, it can pretty much outspeed anything, so... As long as Fly doesn't miss, I don't know, it has 95% accuracy. Yeah, there we go. So Houndoom's going to go down. That's the main thing you got to know. Physical attacks work really well. Even if you don't have good, super effective physical attacks, even like a Surf is still going to do a lot of damage to it. Alright, so once you get that beast out of the way, if you're lucky enough to, her last Pokemon's Gengar. Of course, her last Pokemon could be anything depending on the order she sends them out, but... fortunately, Gengar is not very good. I mean, Gengar, don't get me wrong, Gengar's a great Pokemon, but Karen's Gengar is really bad in my opinion. It knows Focus Blast, Spite, Destiny Bond, and Lick. I'm serious, this thing has Lick. Like, you're in the Elite Four and you have Lick. Focus Blast is the only threat, and it's not really, I mean, it's inaccurate, and it's a fighting type move, so it's kind of easy to counter. Other than that, it uses Spite, which lowers your power points. Not a big deal. And then Destiny Bond is... Destiny Bond, basically, if you knock out Gengar, it takes you down with it. So that's the only kind of annoying thing. However, I mean, if you lose one Pokemon killing Gengar from Destiny Bond, it's not a big deal, because 1-for-1 trade-off isn't too bad, especially in the Elite Four. But yeah, Gengar, when you're attacking it, it has really bad physical defense, kind of like Houndoom. Doesn't really have great defenses overall. I mean, its special defense isn't that great either, so pretty easy to kill. And yeah, that's it. We beat Karen. She's actually pretty dang easy. Other than her Houndoom, I mean, she's really not that tough. And if you can get past that annoying Umbreon, you should be fine. Anyway, she says that the champion is waiting. So, guess what? We've defeated the Elite Four, but there's still one last trainer, and that is the champion. And that's who we're going to be taking on next time.